What's going
Your
on?
provocations. He's asking questions about the
this is an
furry
interview.
experience in VR chat. It's an interview.
I've heard there's a lot of furries on here, but I've never heard of anybody transitioning to become a furry. I'm thinking maybe it's because a lot of young people are on here and they're impressionable, so they're trying to fit in, at the moment with whoever they're clicking with on VR chat, and it's like a phase for them.
Yeah, it's mental. Like I took like a long ass break from the game, mostly to focus on studies and stuff. Came back to it like about end of last year, and it's changed dramatically since I last remembered it. Because when I was playing it, there was mostly like silly avatars and stuff, and there wasn't really much furry creatures or personas, on this game. And if there was, they were usually pre-uploaded like personal avatars and stuff like that. That's really the only ever furry things I ever saw before I left the game a couple of years ago. But since coming back within the end of last year to this year, everyone's everywhere. It's wild.
Well, because I guess that in VR chat people are more open and free. It's part of the internet. Here people tend to be their natural selves. The distance between people and the more virtual environment, I guess, creates a more open and welcoming space. So in that way, people who've had such desires to be that, but kept it locked inside for some whatever reason, now get to be what they want to be. Their life. I don't get it myself. But hey, by definition, I am a transhumanist, and I am playing as a robot-type guy, so it's more of like cybernetic enhancement. Some people are extremely against it, and transhumanists are all for it. For example, if there was a genuine better replacement for example, my arm or something, I would be completely open to just have that instead. The only actual piece that I believe that is me is my brain. I see the rest of my body as, well, a part. Sure, my arm is part of me as I was born with it, but at the end of the day, if I lay in my arm in a weird way, it falls asleep. Then it becomes from being part of me to something in between. So this is just an extension of what nature has given me. And if I can find something better throughout life, why not?
What's your YouTube name? So you can probably cut this out a little bit too. Go subscribe to Humans in VR. Okay.
I've been a furry
He's
for
off and on.
all my
Not a
life,
furry
since
at
I
all.
was 8 years old, and now I'm 24. And apparently I turn people into furries, like this one right here, and that one right there.
Technically not a furry. According to the fandom, Wendigos don't fall into the furry category, so.
That is
You said
true.
that yourself.
You got
I did
ears
say that
and a tail,
myself,
bro. You also
but I
got
could
some
lie.
bruises on your feet.
I've never met a furry on Allspace. I heard that Neo is a place where there's like 85% furries. And so I went in there with my PC, and they were showing me around, and a lot of the avatars were like furries. They thought I was a furry. They're like, "Do you want a furry avatar?" I'm like, "No, not really. I want more like a human, type of avatar." And they're like, "Oh, you're not a furry." I said, "No." They're like, "Are you serious? You're not a furry?" Like 85% of the people on there are furries.
Yeah, yes. Even in real life, I have experienced it for just liking furries. Not even wearing a fursuit or having anything furry on me. People find out I have a persona or even just like furry characters. I'm immediately isolated from the group and picked on. And I don't do anything to provoke these people to bully me or even single me out. They just pick to, because I like something that is on the internet classed as different and classed as, some people say, bestiality, because they get furry and bestiality mixed up all the time, thinking, you like animals? Oh, you must want to do things to animals. No, I just like anthropomorphic animals, like Mickey Mouse and Bugs Bunny. They're all anthropomorphic. Does that make you a furry? It's just an animal with human characteristics enacting, safer work. There is obviously a not safer work part to the fandom, but like not everyone delves into it. I personally don't really delve into it.
I personally think that question is phrased in the wrong way around. People usually pick an avatar because they like it. It fits with them on some emotional or subconscious level. They think, hey, I want to be that, or that represents me. It's not that the avatar makes the player, it's that the player makes the avatar. Maybe for some furries, it just awakens something that was somewhere inside along.
I don't think I'd call myself a furry. I'm only here because this avatar allows it. I was sort of trying to appeal to a more popular demographic other than just robots. I was trying to start making furry stuff because that's what really sells. I don't know. I'm not really proud of it. Oh, I made it myself. I made it on Blender.
No! Actually, I can almost see this in full body. Hold on. This was meant for full body. This entire avatar was meant for full body. It actually goes hard.
Wow.
Put the mask on.
Ah! Doesn't even have a mask?
There it is. That was foul of you. Dude, that shit works in full body. Jesus Christ.
Is this what it feels like to be diseased and gross?
Uh-huh. You guys are so obsessed with me being real that you became me. That's crazy. Damn. I really am a niche micro-internet celebrity.
For the love of Christ. I'm a better Hatman than Hatman. Don't you guys agree?
You're Hat Woman.
Well, no, you're actually right.
That makes it sound like you're a parent.
Oh, no. Yes, what the gross. Yes.
Don't ever say that again. Don't ever say that shit again. That was crazy. That was different. That was crazy.
The people that I hang out with are either, let's see here, the youngest would be like late 20s. The oldest would be like 60s, in between that age gap. Yeah, because we're all kind of refugees from Altspace. Yeah, it closed down on March 10th. Sad day for all of us. But on Altspace, it was all adults. So we all try to stay as a community here. You know what? I'm adapting. I kind of do like it, like especially like this world. Anything that can spark like joy because of the visuals, like the bright lights and soothing music. So there's a lot here on VR chat. So I'm adapting. I really do like it. I mean, it's a close second to what Altspace was for me. I'm glad to have it.
I've known a few people who have become furries from this game, mostly because they just mostly want to fit in with their other furry friends. Because like they've made friends with people who found out they're furries, and then will be like, oh well, I'm kind of the odd one out. I guess I should get a furry avatar. Next minute, suddenly they have a persona and then want a fursuit and everything like that. For me, I was a furry before I was ever on this game. I think what made me mostly play this game is the fact that it was like a virtual reality, you know, like how we are right now, just two people on the internet, but you could be what the hell you want. And I think that's mostly what convinced me to play this game, because when I first started playing was when it first ever came out, and there wasn't really anything furry on here at that time. So I was joining in on all the silly memes and stuff.
Oh my god, your name is Floof and you're huge!
Wait, a floofy huge one?
You're so large.
Ow. Okay, that's...
Oh my
You're
god!
adorable! I love the color.
You're so beautiful.
I always had like plushies and stuff with like dragons, mostly because I was very into reptilian creatures and stuff. So I had them around, and I didn't really have any friends as a kid. So I used to make stories out of the plushies I had and draw them and stuff and make them into little characters of my own. Next minute, when I turned 18 and like found people who had like these furry characters, I was like, oh, what are these? And they were like, oh, these are furries. You look like a furry. And I was like, what's a furry? And they were like, you know, you like anthropomorphic characters, and then maybe one day you'll want a fursuit. And then I was like, oh, I guess I'm a furry then. You know, I never knew I was. I didn't know what furries were until pretty late in life. Not to be like everybody else, but like, don't judge a book from its cover. Like, get to know the person and their personality before what they're wearing or what they are portraying themselves as. As in, for example, I'm wearing a furry avatar. Doesn't mean I'm one of these very cringy furries. I am a very normal person behind this. I know I'm a human being, you know? So I feel like, you know, get to know someone before, you know, giving them a little punch on VR chat.
Kindness is contagious. When you are kind, you inspire others. Be the spark. Spreading kindness merchandise available now.